You did, in fact, hear typing. Typing is on point. Typing is crisp, crystal clear. This is the pre-stream for all the folks who watch this on the recording. We got Joey, Paperclip, Johnny on the spot, Knit6214. I'm just testing the audio here. The problem is the sibilance. I still get the sibilance with a pop filter, and part of that is I'm just so close to the microphone. Even Simon with the joining of the Atmosphere Aficionados. Welcome, welcome. Sep, everybody's here. STX Tyler. Who's that? Who the hell is that? If you guys want me to look at anything, just let me know. I have somewhat prepared for some charts. We'll get going in 5 minutes here. Let's see if we can actually pull up instead of down when I'm streaming. I feel like it's always down. I told this story in the Discord yesterday, but when I used to work for Tech and Me, we would report our P&L every Friday New Zealand time, which was Thursday Eastern. And every time, without fail, that was always the low for the week. I don't know why it worked out like that. It just usually did. So it was just usually funny that you know, the P&L for the week would be down. TNX. On a quest for efficiency and optimization and timestamps, I'm going to try to go in some order, but definitely keep the requests flying in the chat. I will definitely see all of that. Guys, meme coins, I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you, but it might not be the move for a little while. Might not be the move for a little while. This might be the wrong channel for bullishness on meme coins. Just saying. If you want to trade meme coins, just trade miners. Miners are cheap AF. And they're not going to rug you. And they at least look bullish, you know? It's interesting that a lot of this stuff was down like, what, 30% on the week, some of this stuff? And it's up like 7% today. So like there's an argument for some sort of bearish tolerance on alts if you're trading them maybe weekly and you're just looking to see, like, do we have some bullishness in BTC at all? Like a little bit, like we're talking low time frame bullishness to help drag alts higher, like on a 4-hour time frame. That just seems like a very stressful existence. So that's not for me. No, Patrick, I'm just waiting for 2 p.m. People get very, 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 very upset if you start something early without them. So we're just giving it time. Letting the usual crowd shuffle in, testing the audio, waiting for someone to tell me that it's too quiet. That's all. All right, we can do it. Let's go. Let's get this puppy started. I think I'm in a better mood when I'm prepared. When I'm prepared, I think I'm in a little bit of a better mood. Not that I'm like ever stressed about stream. It's just I want to make sure this is the best stream, the best Thursday crypto stream for the 2,000 people that watch it. So thanks for popping by, everybody. It has been, we'll say challenging. Is challenging a good word? A challenging trading environment. This is Kraken Pro. If you've never gazed upon the beautiful UI that is Kraken Pro. As far as volumes for today, not a good sign that stables are at the top. That's usually a bearish sign for crypto if stables are at the top. But man, is there anything going on right now that isn't just like a landmine? Literally, we've got bearish TA on BTC. I'll go over that extensively. We've got UJ exploding. We've got Gox coins unloading here eventually, which probably won't matter, let's be honest. The coins themselves aren't going to matter. None of these events themselves probably matter. It's just the reaction and the expectation of market participants to the news. Like, here are the Gox coins, they're being distributed. Here's Germany selling, right? Germany has $3 billion in BTC. Exactly. It's like, it's not really the selling pressure that's killing us, because clearly we're still sideways. It's the news where people are like, oh God, I better sell. It's all over. Curve. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's just funny. It's just super, super funny. Anyway, stables at the top. Not a good day. It's the summer. It's low volume. Retail's clearly not here. Retail is having trouble. Main Street's having trouble paying bills. Okay, they're not going to, for the most part, they're not going to be sitting in alts for an extended period of time unless they're moving, which is why we're seeing meme coins do their thing, or have. Meme coins have been slaughtered, taken out back at the woodshed and slaughtered, as they should be. These are all great trades. They are great trading vehicles, but do not get it twisted. This stuff has no fundamental value and will retrace swiftly, all at once. I mean, look at, they don't have enough trading history on here for ENA, but just look at all these meme coins over the past week, over the past 2 weeks. Do they have a meme? They call it community. How cute. I like buying stuff that's going up. Okay. So you could say, well, Josh, there's value here because it's down. You know, SHIB is down. SHIB is down 60% from all-time highs already. Oof. Oof. Not good. Not good. So if you want to gamble, that's fine. I don't care. What do I care, right? It's not for me. It doesn't bother me. It's just like people are so focused on the wrong thing. That's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. Because they could just be doing so much less and not getting obliterated, but they want the lottery ticket. They want to spend their $500 on What's a good one here? Bowden. I know they have Bowden. Don't they? On Kraken? I thought they listed it. Maybe. Oh, yeah, there it is. Bowden is down 31%. Is that on the day? Is that on the day? I mean, there's just only so many times people can gently suggest that now's not the time for this nonsense as far as the macro ecosystem. But nobody wants to hear that. Nobody cares. I don't care that people don't care. I'm just saying that's just how it is. We have tight liquidity relatively. It's at a maximum from an absolute level, but from a week over week, month over month, year over year, we're not seeing a giant liquidity injection just yet. Until we do, until rates come down, liquidity goes up, this stuff's going to have a hard time holding on to its values. It will pop, but then it will just get destroyed. So that's that. That's, if you want to play that game, go for it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. We'll come back to Kraken, but I just wanted to look. Anything up today? A bunch of stuff I've never heard of. Some of the AI stuff I was saying with Near. A lot of this stuff, if I'm buying a knife, this is the type of thing you want to look for. You want to look for this parabolic puke. We can measure this out and say like it should reach some level. It was close to $1. It was down. I don't even know. What is this? Like 20% at least? Okay. Try 60%. It was down 60% in a month. Okay. I'll take a stab. It's still part of some narrative. I didn't buy this. I'm just saying generally if I'm looking for something, do I think these highs are going to hold or these levels? I have no idea. Near got absolutely rocked. 50% in a month. Just be careful out there. Just be careful out there because there are few buyers and many more sellers. Yeah, INJ was requested. INJ, so this is a trade I took, got stopped out on. It had all the trappings of a breakout. It was one of the few coins that was actually doing somewhat okay. Can you guys see this? Yeah. It had a head and shoulders breakout. It was in the daily cloud, I believe. Let's make this a little bit bigger. It broke out. It just failed, right? But that's kind of the environment where we're in. Instead of seeing a breakout and getting overperformance, we're seeing breakouts with underperformance, breakouts with failures. In the trading journal video I did this week, there are so many charts that have broken out, even in legacy, and just haven't gone anywhere. They just haven't gone anywhere. I mean, this is just one on crypto. But it just goes to show you right now, there are so many more people waiting to sell than people who are like, oh man, a breakout. Oh man, that's just where we're at right now. Anyway, that's Kraken. Let's talk about BTC for a little bit. Again, if you want me to look at anything, just let me know. What's up, Vainsky? I changed it to live chat, right? Yeah, it's on live chat. Should be for you. Was volume high on the breakout for INJ? Volumes are tough because everything is so fragmented. I can turn on the volume. I just typically don't even bother looking because you've got volume on, I don't know, 25 exchanges, right? But it does look like volume, maybe the wrong type of volume. So for those unaware, any chart pattern, any consolidation, you generally want to see declining volume profile. Okay, we clearly had that. And then the next thing you want to see on the breakout, this is important because it pertains to the BTC situation right now. The next thing you want to see on the breakout is a jump in volume. You want to see an on volume breakout to support higher prices, to support breaking the resistance finally. So I'd argue we saw that, but what we actually ended up getting was sellers, right? This is all red volume. So we did see a lot of volume come in, but it was selling volume. So all the more reason just to tell you, like, yeah, this is a failed breakout. If I add the cloud to this, you can see how it went. 20, 60, 120, 30. You can see how it was in the cloud on the daily. Again, it looked good, but this is trading, right? Not everything's going to be a home run. Not everything's going to be a masterpiece, entry, exit, stop loss, right? It's just, that's part of the game. And right now, you can argue right now, taking any trades anywhere is dumb because it's just not the time. It's just not the time. And that's a valid argument. And that's probably why this failed, because it's clearly just not the time. There's not a lot of people here. Yeah, TIA is another one that, look, we talked about it. I was a TIA hater for months because all everybody wanted to talk about was TIA. And I know how that ends. That ends in tears. Everybody thinks some blockchain that was created 5 seconds ago that has all these lofty promises that no one's actually using is just going to go to infinity. And that's not how it works. It's just not how it works. So this was an Adam and Eve that sort of morphed into a potential triple bottom. But clearly that didn't happen. The problem, I say this a lot, but the problem is when I'm talking about chart patterns, I think people think, oh, he said this is a inverted head and shoulders. I'm going to buy here. It's bullish. Not that this is financial advice, but that is not the correct, again, this pertains to BTC right now. Being bullish on a triple bottom is not the correct stance. The correct stance is wait for the breakout and then be bullish. That's the bullish point. Not, oh, this could be a bottom. We didn't get into the cloud. We didn't hold the cloud, at least. We didn't make a higher high. And so then you wait, right? At this point, like, what is this, June 12th? Like by June 12th, it was do or die. And then by the time we're making new lower lows, obviously it's a different story. Obviously, any bottom thoughts are off the table until we get another round of consolidation or something. So this looks, it went from looking bottomy to looking very angry very quickly, right? So if you are bullish on any of this stuff long term, go for it. This isn't financial advice anyway, but if you think TIA is going to take over and it's going to be the next thing, go for it. But when we look at the miners later, if you want to trade a shitcoin, trade the miners because, man, they're at least moving up. IREN is up almost 200% in less than 2 months. Meanwhile, you got people fooling around with this stuff or meme coins, you know, like just trade the miners. That's clearly they've tapped into some sort of AI liquidity or undervalued something, or they're doing something right, or somebody's lying here. Either Bitcoin is weaker than it should be relative to the miners, or the miners are stronger than they should be relative to Bitcoin. Something's going on. Or again, they're just tapping into this other narrative, this AI data center electricity narrative. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But this stuff clearly not it. All right, let's talk about BTC. I got some charts, so it should be quick. A lot of people getting uneasy. We got people eating each other, literally cannibalism, Skrelly, Skrelly the scammer. We had the Certic thing with Certic claiming it was a white hat. Claiming they're a white hat firm. They pulled the funds off the exchange, laundered them, and then they're like, yeah, we're not getting paid. Like, guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, every halving period, early on, this is hard to see maybe on the stream, but early on, we do a bunch of nothing for 100 days. We are on day 61 of 100. If we are on day 200, if we are on day 300 and we're flat, we've done nothing. Okay. Then I think we can get concerned. If it's October, November, December, and we are not higher, then it's okay to be slightly concerned. I think you have to give this thing time. And you could say, well, we've never gone down post-halving. Even that's not true. Look at 2016. 2016, we had the Bitfinex hack, and then a slow 100-day recovery. We didn't get back to the halving until, what is that, like day 108 in 2016? I don't know how easy this is to see because I can't, I don't think I can. No, I can't really zoom in on that. All of this is going to sound today like, oh man, you should just shut up and buy, just shut up and DCA, go touch grass. Depending on your time horizon, that is the right strategy. For some people, that is the right strategy. For other people, thanks Theo. For other people, it's going to drive them nuts, but we are never strong out of the gate, other than 2012, which you could argue is a different situation because Bitcoin was like cheap. Anyway, so we're on schedule as far as I'm concerned. Day 100, that's D-Day. Looking at this in a little different way, this is eCoinometrics. To be clear, I think this is overly bullish, the way he's got this set up. But if we pull out the imaginary profit calculator and we look at the highs and lows of the halving paths, the trajectory, and we look at where we are now in the orange, it's probably hard to see, but we're snuggled in there at the bottom. And this would give you a July 2025 target of a low of like 280,000, a high of, I'm not even going to say that out loud, in the millions, and then a midpoint of, I don't know, like 560 or something. So if this is your intended path and trajectory, you just do nothing. You just DCA and you do nothing. And you wait, you hope for lower prices. You're DCAing. What do you care? Let it go down. You want more BTC per dollar. But I'm not worried about the trajectory at this point in time. Here's looking at this in a slightly different way on the weekly time frame. Again, like week 25 is where we typically move after halving. If anything, we're early. Everybody knows we're early relative to halving, based on the lows, based on plus or minus, what is this, like 75 weeks, something relative to halving. We're still ahead of schedule based on that metric. So I'm not really worried about it. Then we've got the ETF flows. Not really much to say. We haven't had positive inflows since the end, I guess the beginning of the month, right? So we've had outflows that have sort of matched price over the past month. Just looking at the daily chart, we didn't have any flows yesterday because it was a holiday, markets were closed. I'm not expecting, until we break 72 on our own, I think it's going to be tough to see inflows in a big way. We may do it without the ETFs. We may do it with the ETFs. We may do it in a combination. But to expect the ETFs to pull us out of this may be a bit much. It's possible. But right now, it doesn't look like anybody wants to buy BTC up here. But you could say, massive warning sign, bro. Bro, did he just say distribution? Yeah, look, you can paint price action here, bullish or bearish, and I'll do that in a second. But there needs to be momentum back in the market for people to care again. Right now, they care about NVIDIA, they care about semis. That's clearly getting all the momentum money. And we sort of need something here. We need a catalyst. I don't think the catalyst is going to be the ETF launch either. I think that's going to be a disaster, personally, because I think we'll have ETH outflows. But right now, we don't have much of a catalyst. So we need some sort of unlock of, we need money to come in that hasn't had the ability to do so already. So whatever that is. Looking at the Velo data stuff, the BTC annualized basis is still 11%. Options volume way down, futures volume declining. Options OI flat. Futures OI slightly declining. Down from, what is that? Down from 11 billion. So I don't know. I don't really see much of anything here. We're not seeing crazy outflows from the ETFs. We're not seeing crazy reductions in open interest. We're not seeing basis fly up or down. So we're not really seeing much of anything here right now. But this would be the first place to check. If we see like 2 billion in outflows and price does nothing, you know, is that the basis trade? What's going on there? But this is where you check that. For ETH, basis trade 6%. So currently the ETH basis trade is less attractive than the BTC basis trade. So that may hurt overall flows for ETH even more. Because why would you take, first of all, why would you take this over the risk-free rate, which is roughly 5.25? And then why would you take this basis trade over the BTC basis trade, which is just more? This could change on a dime, but right now it's at almost 7%, whereas the BTC basis trade is back at 11. Yeah, I'll talk about B-Minutes for sure. Just reading chat for a second. So not much going on in ETF land. Not much going on in ETF land. Looking at the 20-week moving average, here's a secret alpha tip, okay? This is going to sound like just shut up in DCA. Weld it shut, get out of here, do something else. And that's probably going to be correct, okay? But looking at the 20-week moving average since inception, in bull and bear markets, we typically do not live above or below the 20-week unless it is a trend shift. So from a bearish perspective, you could say we are almost below the 20-week. It's over. Sell everything. It's done. That's a viewpoint. From the bullish perspective, you could say we're post-halving. We tend to be bullish. This is a good buying opportunity. Anything near the 20-week or below, buying opportunity. If we look at the histogram, we are, what are we? We are 1.01 on the multiple. So we are exactly where we are most of the time, or have been most of the time. Another way to read this is on the histogram, if we are 1.62, 2.65, right? These are much worse places to buy than where we are now from a relative basis against the 20-week moving average. Cowan calls it the 20-week support bands or something. Or no, he calls it the bull market support bands. That's what he calls it. Same thing. But looking at where we've been historically, even on the Z-score, this is relative to the 20-week. We don't typically get extreme lows in this. We could go lower. We could go slightly lower. This is negative 0.36. This basically maxes out at negative 0.1, or sorry, negative 1 on the Z-score. So it looks fine for DCA. It looks fine for long-term purchases in a bull market. This is what we tend to see. The only caveat is, okay, yeah, sure, Josh, but what if it's actually over, bro? If it's actually distribution, bro, then we're going down. And again, if you're DCA'd, you're hoping for that, but what you're not hoping for is breaking this sort of soft rule that 20-week moving averages support. We kind of broke that in 2023 for a period of time. So that would be from a bullish perspective, that would be what people point to. They're like, well, it broke it in 2023 and we recovered. So it's not over, but it is not as bullish as bouncing off of it and holding it. Another bullish data point I'm going to steel man the bull a little bit, and then I'll steel man the bear. And I got some great arguments for the bear. I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready to be bearish with me. Looking at hash ribbons, this is the 30-60 day moving average cross on hash rate. And when these cross bearish, that means we're seeing hash rate come off the network. Why does hash rate come off the network? Because profitability is way down. Why is profitability way down? Because miner revenue is down based on transaction fees and block reward, right? Why is block reward down? Because halving just happened. Okay, so we got all that down. The miners that are not competitive, the miners that can't afford to run, or the miners that have to shut off, can't pay their bills, they're gone. See you later. They'll be back if prices are higher. They'll be back if fees go up. But for now, those miners are gone. Maybe they got acquired by a bigger miner. Maybe they never come back. Doesn't matter. But what this metric is telling you is that historically, when you get this bear cross, we generally have a challenging time with price because the capitulating miners are selling their BTC to break even, to pay for stuff, whatever. That's generally been the case. So we're starting to see this bottom. This is like day one of a bottoming process, okay? But the 30-60 day cross has crossed bullish again. If we zoom way out and look at this, it's not a perfect signal, but it's generally pretty good since 2019, and you can take this back even further. But so that was an okay signal, post-COVID good, post-halving good, and this is what the last halving looked like. So it, let me just see if I can include. You can see how the 30-60 day moving averages crisscrossed a few times, and eventually we got there. But so this signal, good. At the very top, we had this signal as well. This was when the Chinese miners got kicked off the network. That signal was good. This was not a great signal. This was 2022, mid 2022. So miners capitulated, and we still kept going down, and you could argue that was when all of the mayhem was happening and everything was exploding. BlockFi, Celsius, Voyager, 3AC, FTX. FTX was later on, but you could sort of explain that point away. And then after that, this signal was good, and then this signal here eventually worked out, but it took a while. It certainly took a while. So the point is, I think this is a valuable indicator, and if I'm looking to be bullish, I want this to cross bullish. We also had Sailor come in. Sailor come in and bought. Let me tell you, I'll tell you what, chat. I'll tell you what. There's going to be people saying, oh man, Sailor bought almost 800 million and we're still at 65K. That's super bearish, bro. That is, you could argue that. You could say, look, Sailor came in and did nothing for price. Or you could say, somebody's buying what people are selling. Also, I don't know exactly how this works, but the purchases were not done all in one day. They were not done after Monday, after the funding closed. They were done based on their 8K rather, form that they submitted. These purchases were done between April 27th and June 17th. I don't know how that works out. I don't know how that they can do that, but I guess Sailor goes to somebody and says, hey, I'm going to raise some money. We have a target in mind. Can you start accumulating for me? And the other person says, awesome, great. And once they hit certain levels over time, then they say, stop buying. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but he didn't do this yesterday. He didn't buy 780 million yesterday. Okay. So that is part of the reason why we didn't really see much price movement off of this directly. If we look at the MSTR NAV versus premium, however you want to think about that, I always think of this as just premium. We're still at a premium for MSTR relative to their holdings relative to their BTC holdings. The market cap relative to the BTC holdings are still above 1, so there's a premium. If this continues to act as 2x BTC, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's a problem. I don't know. We'll take a look at the chart. But he bought more. Germany selling. Everybody knows this by now. You can look at this. I'll throw this in the show notes of the stream. You can track this on Arkham. You can see they just sent, they being Germany, sent to Kraken 30 minutes ago, sent to Kraken an hour ago. So they're like trickling this out. They have a lot of BTC to sell. But again, you could say the bearish argument is, look how much Germany is selling. Guys, it's over. And the bullish argument is, look how much is being sold and we're not going anywhere. Okay. Look, I don't know what the answer is going to be. Ultimately, there's going to be a tipping point where we cannot absorb BTC at the current price and we will go down. That's just that. Here's the GOX coins. They haven't been distributed yet. They've been moving. Same thing as the Germany coins, okay? Like, these will be TWAP'd away over time by the entities that own them. They will be fire sold by the individuals potentially that receive them. Some of this will be held. Some of this will be not distributed. So it's all over the place. I don't think you can just say, let's take a short off any coin movements here. There will be people that there will be a market reaction, but I don't think you can just say, it's all over, bro. I mean, you could, right? You can take that trade. It's all really about sizing and leverage. You could say, you could set it up like this. You could say Germany and GOX have, what is that, 12 billion in BTC to sell. That doesn't sound bullish. I'm going to take a speculative short or a hedge here and just wait it out. That's one way to do it. It's one way to do it. So supply unlocks aren't typically bullish, but the question here is, how bearish is it going to be? That's the question. And if Saylor's not buying, who's buying? I don't know. So the German government, like a lot of governments around the world, if they are seizing darknet market coins from nefarious activities, that's how they have this amount of BTC. The US government, I think it's on here. Let me just duplicate this so I keep the thing. If we go US government and entities here, the US government has 14 billion total crypto. Most of that, almost all of that's exclusively BTC, and that's coming from confiscations of seizing whatever, right? This is why whales are bad. Okay, we are kind of at the mercy of the selling here, right? So there's something to watch out for. Would I be 10x long here? No. Is it easier to make a short argument here? Absolutely, and we'll get to that on the technicals. This is one very not bullish thing you can look at to point to and say the current environment is not bullish. So if we look at the price of Bitfinex relative to Coinbase, where most of this selling is happening, the Coinbase premium is currently not a premium, it's a discount, meaning the Coinbase BTC is priced lower than the Bitfinex BTC. You can look at all the price history since the existence of these two pairs on these two exchanges, and you will notice we are generally more bullish when the cash market has a premium, that being Coinbase, versus Bitfinex. You could say that's Tether versus USDC premium. You could say it's US versus overseas premium, like whatever. It doesn't really matter to me, but if we look at the last time we were turbo bullish was March, right? The last time we were turbo bullish, we were seeing continuous highs in the Coinbase premium. A lot of this was ETF buying as well. And that's where we see the ETFs buying crypto, so it makes sense. Right now, we're not seeing ETFs buy. We are not seeing buyers generally. So we're seeing a Coinbase discount relative to Bitfinex. Is it bearish the way it's set up now? Yes, absolutely. But it's something to watch for. You can set this up on TradingView. You can type in, is this the Bitstamp? Hold on. What do I have going on here? Is this the Bitstamp premium? Let's see if it looks different for Coinbase. It shouldn't, but it might. Okay, it looks the same. Anyways, this is how you set it up. Coinbase minus Bitfinex divided by Bitfinex. What you can do is set an alert here on the 0 line and just wait, right? Just wait for that to cross. My guess is, are you ready for this? You ready for this? My guess is that will cross on the premium if we cross 72, right? You know, if greater than 72K, CB discount moves to premium, something like that. That's the expectation. So right here, right now, it makes sense that we do not see that. So that's bearish. This is, again, kind of neutral, but if we look at Fed liquidity, US liquidity versus BTC, we're pretty tied at the hip to that. This gentleman is arguing we are bottoming on Fed liquidity in the next X number of days. Okay, sure. Something to think about and consider. And to just determine how that looks as we go forward. Does liquidity go up or down? In the Fed's liquidity number, and I'll take a look at that in a second. All right, here's the ultimate bearish TA arguments. Ready? So the weekly has a pretty obvious case for a double top. M double top here. Everybody sees this. Everybody's looking at this. At least that's one way to look at this. The bears will only see the bearish arguments, mostly. The bulls will mostly see bullish arguments, and they'll just be talking past each other. Looking at the volume for, this is Kraken on the weekly. Weekly volume has been declining. It's hard to see, but it's there. The issue here, my fat face is in the way. Let me move my face. The issue here is we have a head and shoulders on RSI, which admittedly may not matter at all, but we all know how head and shoulders tend to work. They tend to break down. This tends to be a bearish reversal signal. This is on the weekly. This could take 3 months to play out, right? This could take a very long time to play out. If we look at the last time we had a head and shoulders on RSI, that was literally the current all-time high on the daily chart. This is March, this head and shoulders thing, and we're still sort of, I don't know, consolidating after that. You can see the initial down move, but it's just something that stuck out to me. Like, you know, I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not a head and shoulders on RSI, but if I'm being bearish, that's certainly not bullish. We talked about the M double top. If you're bearish, you're loving this, right? I'm loving it. M for murder. Expectation here is we drop from here to 57, and then we probably take a couple days to drop from 57.5 to lower lows, whatever that ends up being, but this measures to the 40s. That's not going to happen in a day. It's probably not going to happen in a week. If this does happen, it's going to take time, but that would be the measured move of the double top. Remember, these are the bearish arguments. Here is the weekly B-band squeeze. What does this mean? Well, when the B-bands are wide, you generally see volatility. When the B-bands are tight, like they are now, we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing consolidation. When you see consolidation above the 20-week moving average, that tends to lead to eventual bullish continuation, okay? The problem here is if we break the 20-week, back to this 20-week bullish support argument, if we break the 20-week moving average here, there's some chance that we reach for the other edge of this Bollinger Band, which would be 51.5 or something. That's going to move up on Sunday. But this is not a bullish picture until we bounce. You could say, I think it's going to bounce because it has in bull markets. You could say this is bearish. Look at the last time we we squeezed and broke the midpoint. What did we do? We went down to the bottom of the bands. This ended up being a bear trap, which that's also a possibility. We're talking about time horizons. Are you talking about next week or next quarter? What are we talking about here? Next week, there's a high possibility that we break down pretty far based on this. You know, we do not want to break the 20-week moving average. Not fun to do that. Another bearish part of this argument is look at the daily B bands. They squeezed. We did not get a bullish continuation breakout despite holding above the 20-day moving average. And now we're just riding the down bands. We are still expanding volatility to the downside. We have not stopped breaking down yet. So there's nothing here that says this looks bullish. The 1050 cross over the past year and a half has been pretty good. Bullish up, bearish down, 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 bullish up. And we're currently crossing bearish on this. So if I'm making a bearish argument, I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, this is going to go lower based on the 1050 cross, which has been pretty dead on the money. And you can backtest this since inception. It does a pretty good job on the daily. The alligator fractals, also bearish. And we're crushing support fractals, lower, 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 not good. This is probably my most concerning thing. We are ready to close inside of the daily cloud. We do not do that if we're bullish. If we lose the daily cloud, if we lose the key June, then we trigger a bearish edge to edge just like we did in April to the bottom of the cloud. That would be a completion of the M double top. Then you're going to get calls for 40s, whatever. But the first step is closing in the cloud. We do not have a bearish TK cross yet, but that will probably follow shortly thereafter. You can see last time we flirted with a cloud breakdown, we actually pulled up, got the bearish cross, and then broke down. So this is both a bullish and bearish argument. Like, look, this is bearish, but it's not as bearish as it could be yet. Sorry, Izo, thanks for the reminder. So 1050 cross, what else we got here? Just continuous bleed. We have not been able to hold on to a higher high. And okay, so here's the bear arguments in summary. RSI, weekly, head and shoulders. M double top. Multi-month M double top. Potentially bearish breakdown on weekly B bands. Daily B band expansion to the downside. 1050 bear cross. Alligator fractals, continuous bearishness. Stop loss on this, by the way, is like 67.2. So that's a level to think about. And then lastly, the cloud. Those are all not good things. Those are all very bearish things. So if I was trying to craft a bearish argument, that's what I would say. Also, even on low time frames, we have not painted any reversal patterns here. It's been chop, it's been Barty, but it's definitely been just continuous down. On the flip side, on the bull argument, you could say, well, today's a new day. Maybe this is an inverted hammer. Candlestick yet to be closed confirms tomorrow. Potentially something to watch for. And of course, we still have this macro inverted head and shoulders argument on the table, but doesn't complete until we're back to 72. So, you know, depending on how you feel and how you're positioned, you're going to love some of these arguments. You're not going to like the other ones. there's certainly less bull argument in the near term than bear argument based on TA that I'm seeing. That could change on a dime, but how we're sitting here doesn't look good. Yeah, I moved it, John, sorry. This is why I know I don't have camera on for videos, because I don't care about my face. I don't think people care about my face. There's some like human connection with seeing a face talking. I get it, but it's such a pain in the rear to constantly like worry about the overlay. Anyway, so all this stuff, not good. Not a lot of bullish arguments there. You know, not a lot of bullish arguments there. Let's go back to Kraken. We'll take a look at some alts. Alts generally look tragically, awfully much worse than BTC. Some of the alts look better than others, but for the most part, ETH is kind of the only alt that has decent sideways strength here. A lot of everything else looks horrific. And depending on your time horizon, depending how you feel about the ETFs, depending on how you feel about ETH outflows, you could say, I don't know what this guy's talking about. ETH is going to be so bullish. We're going to see so many inflows, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Hey, that's possible. I'm just looking at the tech. The tech here has kind of the same arguments that BTC does. You need to see higher highs first. You could say this is a cup and handle. You could say this is an inverted head and shoulders. You could say it's a bullish Kijun bounce. You could say all that stuff. But it hasn't gone anywhere since March, just like BTC. ETH could pull BTC out of the doldrums. BTC could pull ETH out of the doldrums. They could pull each other down. We just don't have a catalyst. We have nothing going on right now. There's no urgency for anybody to like wake up and say, oh man, I'm underweight ETH, I'm underweight BTC. It's just not, it's not where we're at. So you could buy this pre-breakout and you could say, I'm convinced this will be bullish. That's a trade, right? That's a trade. That's not how I'm positioned, but that is a trade. There's a yin and a yang between waiting for the breakout completely versus kind of cheating a little bit and expecting it. On ETH, the target is 4,500 to 5,000. I mean, that's the target. So what you could do on ETH is say, you know what? I'm going to DCA every day. And as long as it doesn't break below the cloud, that's my stop loss. I'm just going to keep dollar cost averaging. I'm convinced this is going to break higher. And maybe on the breakout or whatever, however you want to draw this, maybe anything above 3,800, you just shove the rest of your stack, and that's that. But as we sit here today, I think it's too early to just assume that this is going to work out. It doesn't look bad. It looks better than BTC. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It looks better than Sol. We can go to Sol. Whew. Whew. If I was sitting in Sol here, I would do nothing. Probably, I wouldn't look at price till October. Okay, that's probably what I'd do. This does not look good. Why doesn't it look good? It's losing trend. It's losing the cloud. It's got a full bearish breakdown. This could recover. Yeah, ETH could go to 10K too, but trend is not on your side here. Trend is not on your side. You could draw this a different way and say this is a descending triangle. If I can, yeah, there we go. You could say this is a descending triangle. Until we do anything, I'm not doing anything, right? But to sit here and expect this to bounce or expect this to hold, expect this range to stay the way it is silly, considering how everything else is acting. A lot of people yesterday in the video, they said I was too bearish. Look, we lose trend metrics. What am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to just say, yeah, man, banana zone, man. Banana zone, man. Have you heard about the banana zone? We're talking week to week here. So right now as we sit, this does not look bullish. It just doesn't. And it's up. How much is this up? It is up. So it is still up 500% since Q4 2023. Still. So Sol has plenty to give back. Plenty. Don't let anyone fool you that this can't break down. Where could this go if this breaks down? I think sub 100 easily. I do not think realistically we go to 50. I actually think we're going to have a hell of a time like down here. Anything around like 110, 120, 100, that's where we'd see the next consolidation on a down move. But trend here is not bullish, and that's okay. The easier trade is to wait for this stuff to flip bullish again. And depending on your time horizon, you could say, I know this is going to be bullish in Q4. I don't care what this guy has to say. That's fine. I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other. I'm just telling you what I'm saying or what I'm seeing. This does not look bullish. It does not look bullish. On trend, use any moving average cross you want. I think it also has a 5200 death cross coming up here. It just looks tired. It looks very tired. Where do we go? Green, red. It looks very tired. So this is the 200-day moving average right here. This could hold as support. I don't think it will, but it could. So it's a matter of conviction, sizing, leverage, time horizon. I can't answer those questions for you. But am I adding to Sol here? I am not. I would much rather buy ETH here than Sol. I would much rather buy BTC than Sol. This looks very heavy. You could also just say, this is an M double top. You could say there's a head and shoulders here. There's lots of things that are not bullish here. All of that gets canceled if we're back above 200. If we're back above 200, it's game on. But until then, for now, it is not a happy place to be. Where do we want to go to next? On Kraken. I mean, I guess we can just go down the volume list and then switch to trading view. But Pepe was a great trade. It was a great trade. It had a, where do we want to measure this? It had a head and shoulders down here. Boop, 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 boop. Clean neckline, broke out, retested the neckline. It even overperformed, right? This was on the back of a catalyst, which was the ETH ETF approval. So there was a general tailwind there. Here, I don't see any reason to sit in this thing here, personally. It is still up, let me remind you, since March, we'll go end of February. Since the end of February, it is still up 800%. Haywood, the zero play is sell everything or hold it. There's no other play, in my mind, for any airdrop ever. It's that simple. But Pepe's still up 800%. This can do nothing for a long time. A long time. There's no urgency on that chart at all for me. The AI stuff we kind of hit on a little bit. What I like about these down charts that I was talking about, and this is something that we have not seen on BTC yet. We have not seen this like parabolic acceleration down. I'm terrible at drawing, but you get the point. It's this it's like this, right? This like puke, this like, oh my God, I'm capitulating, it's over, I'm selling, I hate my life. We haven't quite seen that on BTC yet. We're getting there, but we haven't quite seen that yet. Now, is this bullish on trend? Absolutely not. But it at least looks like it capitulated a little bit. You know, I talk about this with Tesla too. If we look at Tesla back in the day, even recently, it has the same. Let me go to a different chart. It has the same types of people trading Tesla and meme coins. Let's be honest here. They are the same types of people. Not exactly the same. Dag nabbit. Let me find a thing where I can write on. Even those little mini head and shoulders worked out. Anyway, Tesla. So Tesla had this huge parabolic puke. Huge, right? Like, look at this puke. I hate my life. It's over. My wife's divorcing me, right? Like, you don't want to be in the parabolic puke. You want to be there to clean up the mess, but you don't want to be in it. This recent move, similar, parabolic puke. Just huge capitulation. All the Tesla bulls, they're selling, right? Gerber, Kawasaki, whatever his name is, selling. He's Elon's radioactive toxic waste when it comes to headlines. Like, it's all bad, right? So that's what if you're looking for capitulation, that's what you want to see. Anyway, so FET wasn't, I guess not. XRP, someone asked me, it's amazing to me that people care about XRP, but someone asked me why I don't talk about it anymore. What is there to talk about? Price is unchanged from 2017. 2017. Unchanged. It's not above the weekly cloud. It's not above the daily cloud. Why should I care about it? There's no chart pattern here. There's nothing. There's no reason to buy this. Again, if you want to trade meme coins, trade the miners. The miners are moving like crazy. Ripple's not it. Doge also just needs time. There's just not a lot of buyers in meme coin land. Needs time. Probably goes lower. Near has also a pretty good case for a M double top. Doesn't look happy to be here. It also has a failed, this is probably more important, it has a failed inverted head and shoulders here. A multi-shouldered head and shoulders failure. That is not a good sign. Could near go to 350 or less? It could. It could. This reminds me of this chart, the platinum palladium chart. If I find the right annotation, there it is. Nope, that wasn't it. Platinum palladium chart also has this. There it is. This could pull up, right? This could still play out, but I'm not here to stick around and find out. I'm going to wait to see what happens. So it's the same thing with near. That's ugly. That's ugly. Very ugly. Definitely not bullish on trend. Lido pulled up quite a bit, I thought. Wasn't there a bunch of people? I swear I saw 50 tweets, people talking about Lido. You would think it's at $200 by now. How desperate are people? Lido is still below the long-term horizontal resistance. So it's still below that. It is still Still below, I don't know, how do we want to measure this? We could say, there was a ascending triangle, it broke down, it broke up, it broke down again. This is range bound, low time frames. You could say this, I don't know. It looks okay. It looks about as good as ETH does. I'd rather just trade ETH. Render looks like near, M double top, bearish. Needs to pull up a lot. Ocean looks like FET, bearish capitulation. And now we're getting to the point where a lot of these charts just look like all the other charts. INJ, we talked about a failed bullish reversal on the inverted head and shoulders. LTC shouldn't exist. Also, just chop. I don't know. Gross chop like Ripple. Why? Why bother? WIF should be pretty heavy looking like the other meme coins, and it is. Where does WIF go? Same thing, just measure. All I'm doing is I'm measuring the high and the low as a range with the fibs, and you get some crazy low numbers, right? This is probably, we need the Wyckoff people in here, but this is probably Wyckoff distribution, if I had to guess. You also had, if I can draw, you also had a failed double bottom here that went nowhere. So there's nothing on this chart, zero, that is bullish, zero. Could this bounce? Yeah, anything can bounce. Is it bullish? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Gross. Hope it goes to zero personally, but it is not bullish. SEI, S-E-I. Bearish. Below the cloud. We'll do link. Ondo, people keep asking me about Ondo. I guess it's up relative to everything else. It kind of is a mess. It had this. Man, why can I not draw on these charts? It had this, right? Tried to break down, didn't. I don't know. Some RWA, BlackRock play, narrative. Sure. It's neutral, which we'll take right now. Link. I'll just go to this chart because I don't want to be bullish. I don't want to be bearish. I just want to make money. So I'm just telling you how I see it. All these charts look like trash. Awful. Could they find support here? Sure. Am I buying any of this stuff? Absolutely not. Link, AVAX, Rune, DOT, IMX, Filecoin. All look horrific. Horrific. Awful. 404, no bullishness to be found. Anything else on this? ADA. ADA also has a pretty aggressive, gross looking, like what about this is bullish? Nothing. Sorry. The most bullish thing about this is a eventual bull div whenever that happens. But I don't think there's a bull div on this just yet. Doesn't look good. And this has almost retraced the whole move since Q4. Alts are a trade, not a hold. Alts are a trade, not a hold. Anything else special on here? Oh, ENS. ENS looks okay right now. And we'll take it, right? Because everything else is so bearish. ENS, man, I cannot draw. ENS has something going on, right? It looks tradable. Like INJ, is now the time? Probably not, but if I'm trading anything, I'm trading charts that look like this instead of anything else I've been showing. It also had a Adam and Eve down here. if we look at the ENA chart, ENA was a similar setup that failed. Almost all these setups have failed, which is probably the market trying to tell you, hey, take a hint, dude. It's not the time. Look at this thing. This was an amazing setup, just like near. That near chart looked great for weeks. Didn't break, just couldn't hold the breakout, right? This is a month and a half consolidation on a new coin. Looked good, broke down. So does that inform sizing and leverage on other stuff right now? Probably. It's probably telling you, hey, it's not a great time. It's not a great time to go hog wild on this stuff. But it's a trade that you can take based on whatever system that I care about, right? Looks okay. Looks okay. All right, let's just switch to this real quick. So we did BTC, ad nauseum, ETH. BNB is another one. BNB took the trade on this as well, failed so far. Stop loss for this is going to be closing the cloud or bearish TK cross. You know, that's the cloud telling you, hey trader, take a hint, bro. Now is not the time. The next trade may be a week from now, but it's telling you now is not the time, because what's the risk? What is the risk of holding this anyway? The risk is a bearish edge-to-edge trade through the cloud. The same thing with BTC. So it's not like if BTC breaks down, BNB won't. So that is a 20% move that the cloud is trying to save you from. It's unlikely that if we break down, we won't attempt a move that low. That's also what this is saying. This is saying be very careful here. You already had a failed breakout. We're still in the consolidation range. That's probably a gift in and of itself. The maximum downside on this would be a full failure of the consolidation range, and that would be like 400. But this down move would be the first target, 470 on BNB. Sol, we looked at Link, AVAX, Matic. Matic has been a dumpster fire for a while. I mean, what do you tell people? This coin has done nothing for 2 years. It's been huge range chop. You can buy the lows and sell the highs, or you can just choose to ignore it until it looks better. But this ain't it. This ain't it. LTC.near, we talked about Render, FET, Ocean, AGIX, same thing as the other AI coins. ADA, we talked about ETC, same picture, head and shoulders. INJ, IMX, we talked about Rune, GRT, same story. And this is also the market telling you, take a hint, all these charts look the same. That is not a bullish environment. When everything looks the same, not good. Algo also looks awful. Flow, ENA, we talked about meme coins. Is there any other coin I didn't talk about that you want me to look at? So my long-term price targets are still on the table. We're talking about, I'm bearish. If we don't pull up within the next couple weeks, where do you think this goes, right? We have bled almost every day since the beginning of the month. If we keep bleeding, we go lower. Like, that's it. That's it. If we don't stop bleeding, we will bleed out continuously. So until that changes, to be bearish makes sense in the near term. This could be the bottom today. It could be the bottom tomorrow. It could have been the bottom 2 days ago. I don't know. Am I trading around this range at all? No, I'm not. Not touching it. But yes, I still like we can go to, you know, again, like people are watching the stream. We talk about stuff every week. That's part of the game. So I'm on this weekly cadence to say something, but the long-term price targets haven't changed. I'm trying to find this chart. I don't know where his charts are. Where did he put the charts section? There we go. Power law corridor. I was here before Fred was talking about it. Sorry, Fred. Power law corridor created years ago. It's a model that has worked. This could fail. This could explode. Keep that in mind. Blah, blah, blah. If we look at where this could go, 2025, 400K. I haven't really seen more. I haven't seen too many people talking about those kind of targets. I've seen a lot of targets in the hundreds, the low hundreds. I haven't really seen anybody going as high as 400. I like 333 because it's a year after, at least it was. 333, somewhere on here, it's the year after halving, right? April, what is that, April 2025? April 2025, April 19th is technically 414, but we're still below the midpoint. We haven't exploded yet. I'm very bullish long term. Stupidly bullish long term. Stupidly bullish long term. So in the short term, okay, we go to 50. Okay, we go to 40. Cool. That makes the upside multiple even better. That makes the DCA people even happier. So all of the ETF money outflows from the ETFs. Okay. I'm not worried. We're going higher. I don't know what to say. Is this a cycle high? No way, bro. No way. See you later. See you later. Exactly. Brett. If this is a sad chart, I'm going to be sad. I have a feeling it's going to be sad. Because why wouldn't it be? Oh, I stand corrected. It looks better than most meme coins do. I don't really have a target or anything. Target of, here, 30 cents. That's your 2x. I would take a 2x on this right now so fast and just walk away. This thing is up. It's up 400% in 36 days. Okay. 400% in 36 days. I'll take a 2x. I'll take a 2x. All right, what else we got? What else we got? Any other coins? Any other coins? Zero, someone was asking. I don't even think, is there a chart yet for this coin? Not really. Like I've said before, airdrops are like giving someone a puppy. They're like, here, you have a puppy now. At least they think it's a puppy. When in actuality, it's just free money that they can just sell, right? So you're either selling, this is my permanent airdrop mentality, you're either selling immediately or you're just holding for cycle craziness. I have no clue about distribution. I have no clue about circulating supply. Be happy with what you got or forget about it. This could be inverted head and shoulders. This is like a 5-minute time frame, so who the hell knows? But yeah. Someone asked about, oh yeah, Tau, T-A-O, Tau. Here's another failed head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. didn't even quite get to the neckline and puked. This is why it is it's very rare to see something this far down the market cap list survive a Bitcoin puke. It's just going to correlate with everything. It's going to puke, right? So the chart pattern is not going to save you. And this didn't even get to 467. So here, what would I do? I don't know. I'm not a fan of buying weakness. So I would just wait personally for some trend metric to be bullish again. Doesn't look great to me. I scared off. We've got what, 100 viewers? See, this is where the alpha is made. Nobody's here. Markets are weak. This is where the alpha is made. I will look at Can. Brett isn't a good meme. All right, let's look at the real markets. The legacy markets. Where do I want to start? Let's just start with miners because miners have been going up. Everything else kind of hasn't been. The issue I have with most miners right now is how quickly they've moved up. So they probably need some consolidation. But looking at most of them, at least the bullish miners, we're above the cloud. We have moving averages on our side. We're breaking horizontal resistance. We're making new 52-week highs. We're making multi-year highs. All this stuff is very, very bullish. So don't get me wrong when I say this candlestick doesn't look good, right? We probably just need some time to consolidate. This is WGMI, the mining ETF. We've broken out of this huge consolidation. There is plenty of room for higher targets. What would I look for to buy here? It would be Kijun bounce at 18 or 20-ish. 18 to 20 is what I like. If you get that. There's also kind of measures to the same spot, but there's this as well, Adam and Eve. There's bullishness all over this chart. Does that make any sense relative to crypto and BTC right now? I don't think so, but that's probably where the AI narrative creeps in. Some of these miners that people keep talking about and are tribal and obsessed with don't look very good to me. I would avoid those. So if you don't like the bad miners, the basket in WGMI, probably not for you. Marathon does not look bullish to me based on the chart pattern potential here. You could say, well, to hell with that. This is a bullish edge-to-edge move in the making to 24. Possible, but it's done nothing for months. It's done nothing. So Marathon is not currently one for me. I think there might be a time for Marathon. I just think you get more bang for your buck on something else right now. It's starting to get out of the weekly cloud, and the last time it did that, it had a crazy move. But this is not a today thing. This is a, if Bitcoin breaks 72, I like Marathon to 150, whatever, right? Like, yes, love it. Awesome. But we're not there yet. So that one needs time. CleanSpark, on the other hand, on the daily, what do we have? We have a bullish DK cross today, bullish Kumo breakout 2 days ago. We are still in this pitchfork. We're above the midpoint. I like everything about this chart. There's a triangle we're breaking out of. Stop loss on this would be 15 below the cloud. So this looks much better to me than Mara. It's even above the weekly cloud. So I like CleanSpark a lot here. Riot, much like Marathon, a whole lot of nothing. It's an avoid for me in the near term. IREN has the opposite problem. It's up 200% in a month and a half. It's super bullish, but Is it going to continue here? I think you need some time. You can kind of see evidence of a like low time frame triangle starting here. I just think you need some time to consolidate. It doesn't look bearish. It doesn't look like it's going to roll over immediately, but I think it needs some time. I think it needs some time. Cores, I don't like this company, so I would never touch this. It's also rolling over. It had a good move. I wouldn't chase this personally. I wouldn't chase this. Cypher is, to me, the best looking mining chart right now that's pre-breakout. It is at the resistance point for the 4th time in a year. It has been a super tight consolidation. You can also just draw a diagonal here. My colors are kind of backwards, huh? You could draw a diagonal here and say this is your downside support, this is your stop loss, the cloud is your stop loss. So I like this a lot. I like this a lot. It looks like IREN before the breakout. It looks like Wolf before the breakout. So if I was going to buy anything, which I did, I bought Cypher today, I bought CleanSpark today. Bitfarms also doesn't look terrible. You've got the Riot acquisition stuff in the background that's happening. This chart is up 100% in a month as well. I don't think it would be impossible if you see something like this. Inverted head and shoulders, maybe over the next month. Like, it probably gives some back, it probably consolidates. I don't think it just keeps going unless Riot is super aggro about acquiring shares. I just don't think as a trade setup it looks as good as Cypher does. So it looks better than Mara, it looks better than Riot. I don't like it more than Cypher or CleanSpark. Hut. Daily cloud breakout. Kind of a mess. Doesn't look horrible. But instead of buying all these meme coin garbage coins, like you could have bought Wolf. You could have bought Wolf at below 2, and now it's at 460. Wolf, just like IREN, it's probably up a little too much, too fast. Probably needs some time to consolidate. Still looks plenty bullish. Looks crazy bullish. Hut, again, you could argue, I don't know, this is ranging. It just doesn't look as good as Cypher to me. Hive, also ranging. To me, it's like it's super binary. Is there a trade here? No. Okay, moving on. Next one. Right? Like, that's all there really is. Stronghold has bounced quite a bit. Still at the bottom of the range. You could take a stab on this if you want to be brave, but I would wait. I'm going to wait until this is higher to even think about touching this. I think the company's a dumpster fire, so I'm avoiding that one for now. Gree kind of looks like K-Web, or it had this inverted head and shoulders that broke down, trying to recover. This is bullish edge to edge criteria, right? I don't know about the company per se. So I like Cypher here. I like CleanSpark here. If you don't want to play individual names, WGMI is an option for you as well. Somebody was asking about Canan, right? What is going on here? Oh man. I can't show you the chart, but this kind of looks like Bed Bath & Beyond did. You have this broadening falling wedge thing. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's a chart for me, personally. I'd rather trade Cypher or CleanSpark. Doesn't look terrible, but I think you got better options, personally. Okay, that's miners. Let's go Mag 7 stuff. Nvidia finally showing some weakness. And this is what we need on the Bitcoin side. We need weakness in the highest momentum name in the market, while at the same time, we need Nvidia not to completely break down. How low could this go? I think like 108, 115. 108's the key June here. This is going to flatten out the TK lines. Tenkin's at 121. But I think this is really healthy. You want to see people taking profit. You do not want to see this continuous parabolic up move. This is good. This is good for Nvidia. It's good for the market. It's good that this is slowing down. Obviously, if you're in this at 139, you're not happy. But it's only natural that eventually this thing is going to slow down. SMCI has a bullish Kumo breakout with an Adam and Eve situation. If Nvidia is breaking down, I can't imagine SMCI is going to be happy about that. But I still like this chart a lot. This is a fresh cloud breakout with a bullish TK cross. So to me, that looks good. On the long side, Apple also breaking down. Kind of toppy there. Angry. This could retrace back to the breakout at 200. I wouldn't chase anything that looks like this. I don't care what it is. So that makes sense to me that that's rolling over a little bit. Microsoft, same thing, rolling over. I think the indices are down a little bit on the day. So obviously a lot of that is Mag 7 stuff. All of this stuff just needs time, needs a breather. Amazon looks okay. I don't think there's a trade here either, just yet. I just don't think there's a trade there. Meta looks okay. Is anybody excited about buying Meta at 500? I don't think so. Google has this low time frame inverted head and shoulders, but other than that, I think all the Mag 7, it needs to just chill the F out for a little while. Just chill out. Let people sell. Do whatever they want to do. Panic. Just give it some time. Netflix, none of this stuff looks exciting to me. Tesla is one of the few that had this, still has the inverted head and shoulders. It just might take a second to play out. It looks okay. And it may just need a bunch of time, you know? I wouldn't jump into this, but it has a setup. I can't really say that for much else on the Mag 7 side of things. It has a setup. K-Web breaking down. I don't know. Is what it is. Toast is up a lot. I don't really know why. I probably sold the bottom, but the reason I liked Toast was because of Hood. I thought I had Hood on here somewhere. Hood had this white coffee and accumulation setup that it broke out of. Looks great. You know, not all of these are going to work out. Not all of these are going to be 100% moves. But you don't really care from a trading perspective. You're just looking for something that meets system criteria for an entry. That's it. So on low time frames, Toast could morph into a head and shoulders, right? Like you don't want to see this, but long term, there still might be a trade here for sure. Someone was asking about Mu, Micron. So that's not a good weekly candle. I would absolutely love it, mainly because it would piss off the bears. I would love it if we slow down on semis a lot, we retrace a lot, and the whole market just kind of stays flat. It doesn't drag the rest of the market with it. That would be very bullish to me. Very bullish to me. So to see something like this is an ugly shooting star candle. If you think about the BTC chart I had up earlier with the inverted hammer and the shooting star, this is a shooting star on the weekly all day. So that doesn't look great on Micron. On the weekly, pretty nasty reversal. But the bears are going to come out, especially on Nvidia. I guarantee you, the bears are going to come out and they're going to say, it's over. I told you so. I've been wrong for 2 years, but bro, I'm right this time. This is the top. You know, we're going to get a lot of that. I just think this is natural profit taking. You have to find new buyers for this stuff at some point. I'd love to see a split on SMCI. But here's another triangle on this thing. This chart looks really good. Really, really good. So I like SMCI right here. I like CLSK. I like Cypher. What else we got? PayPal. Dumpster fire of a chart. Gross. Lost any hope of bullishness for now. Square on the weekly, kind of the same thing. It tried. It just needs time. I would not sit in this personally. I tossed my bag a couple weeks ago. That doesn't look great. MSTR. It has a bullish TK cross, price above cloud. It's going to follow BTC. So if BTC breaks down, it's going to break down. It's not going to move on its own, I don't think. It needs momentum from Bitcoin one way or the other. But just taking a trade blindly, this looks like it should be bullish continuation. I just don't know that. I don't know if that's how it's going to play out. Coin is another one that I actually like here. It has a bullish TK cross, price above cloud. Your stop loss is basically at this point new lower lows. This is going to follow ETH. This is going to follow BTC. So it's kind of a quick yes or no trade here, that it's either going to fail or it's going to pull up, right? But ultimately, if this gets in the cloud, that's a no bueno zone, because then we're talking bearish edge to edge from 227 to 200. I like SMCI better right now. What else we got? S&P, we'll take a look. Not really much to say. It's just, I mean, it's hitting targets. It's 100% got a bear div on this. There's no doubt in my mind. Just all the more reason to take it easy for the moment, because if Legacy breaks down in a big way, I can't imagine BTC is going to hold its levels here. But that's a bear div into a target from 2022, 2021. I would be very careful up here. But that's the wall of worry for you. You know, we have some wiggle room from 55 to 61 on the target, but it's just up so much so quickly with a bear div. The Qs are the same. Survived the head and shoulders attempt, but the shooting star stuff, not great. You don't want a shooting star at an all-time high. That's typically not bullish continuation criteria. Not that that can't be canceled or negated, invalidated, but not great. Not great. especially with this gap. You know, there's a world where we break down, retrace the gap, and then go again. But man, that is not a great looking chart right there. Look at how far away it is from the TK lines too on the daily. I just think that all of this stuff needs time. IWM looks like junk. I don't know why anybody would trade this thing. Head and shoulders all day. Just looks atrocious. DJI is up today. So that means commodities are probably up today, which they are. It doesn't look great, but it looks okay. Looks okay. Chart looks okay. You got this TKC clamp on the weekly. I don't know, guys. I don't know. You tell me, am I too bearish? This looks overextended. This looks ready for retracement eventually. I think sideways or down is much more likely than bullish continuation here, broadly. DXY looks more bullish by the day. Unfortunately for BTC, which is another headwind, we're just getting full-blown reversal in DXY. That's not good. UJ is at 159. Not good. Not good. Not good. Very much not good. If this keeps creeping up, which it will, it's inevitable, then that means they're going to sell U.S. treasuries overseas to shore this up, and that means yields higher, and that means risk down. So yeah, I'm sure there's a bear div on all of these indices on the weekly. They just need time. They need time and also need to not explode so that Bitcoin doesn't go to 50, right? So if there's another bearish argument for you, all this stuff just looks heavy, very heavy. TLT on the daily, this is the long bond ETF. I think it's probably best viewed on like the 3-day. Like if you're trading TLT, you can probably take some time here to wait. Like any breakout, we can just say we think this is going to be bullish, so we're going to trade it as such. But it's trying. It's really trying to break out. So I think the level here is 96, 90, yeah. Just put an alert there and just wait. So the beauty of this is you're not really trading the yield. You're trading the price, right? So where would this go? I guess is the next question. I think there might be a trade from 95 to 123. That's a multi-month setup. But that would mean the 10-year yield. 10-year yield looks like Solana. Like, let's be honest. It looks scarily like Solana. Eerily like Solana. It's ready to break down. It's up a lot. It is starting to get bearish on trend. So I guess it just depends. It depends if we see this flight to safety in bonds or not. But it's a setup to think about for sure. For sure. Pfizer, all over the place. Slightly up today. Similar crazy trend reversal potential here. What else haven't I talked about? Commodities, gold. I think gold's got a head and shoulders on it. The cloud does not like gold here because it's a bearish TK cross. the bull argument would be, show me a bear to bull TK cross, and then that's a trade. Not only is that a trade, but you're negating the head and shoulders. So if this cancels the head and shoulders, then we're talking about 2,500. Another 10% move on gold. And it's funny because all the gold people are like, it's up so soon, it's up too much, I'm cutting my holdings a little bit, I'm reallocating. Or they say, you know, this is a head and shoulders, which it is, but it hasn't confirmed yet. And the cloud is telling you that. It is certainly less bullish than it was, but it is looking like it's trying to cancel that head and shoulders. Silver up 3% today. Don't know why. Not that it matters, but you're coming off a multi-year pattern. And it just takes time. It takes time to break out, you know? It takes time, but it looks fine. You just need time. You got to be super patient. Oil up a little bit today. We do not want to see oil in the cloud on the weekly. Not good. Drain the SPR. Somebody get Biden on the horn. Dear Biden, drain that SPR. Drain the SPR, Biden. Drain the SPR, Biden. We do not want this. They don't want this for the election. They do not want high gas prices. XLE energy ETF has a falling wedge, kind of. It's on a super aggressive down move. I don't hate adding here to an XLE position, but if you're rooting for XLE, it means risk probably goes down, so it's kind of this hedge that's inversely correlated. Anyway, it's pulled up though. Copper, just like gold, this is COP X on the daily. It had the bearish TK cross, but it's pulled up quite a bit. So, you know, it looks better here as a buy than I did at 50. If you loved it at 50, you're gonna marry it at 44, you know. But this is another one that's coming out of a multi-year consolidation. Just needs time. WPM, same thing. All the commodities kind of bouncing today a little bit. Uranium just needs time. Sideways chop ranging. We already talked about that one. So I think that's it, unless somebody has anything else. He's busy sniffing hair. Oh, Biden. Oh, somebody wanted me to look at NGRU. That was Doppel. Is that a chart? Maybe he meant this one? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, SMLR. Someone else wanted me to look at. So this company is a medical biotech, right? I don't think they're medical devices. They're buying BTC like MSTR. And they have a choppy case for inverted head and shoulders, almost out of the weekly cloud. So some of this stuff is like alert watch list material. I don't think it's quite accumulation material unless you're super confident. But the chart looks better than Square, right? It looks similar to Square. It looks better. It's trying to do something. It's a poor man's MSTR, right? When rate cuts arrive in 2090 BC around 20% following 2 weeks. So I think we get 2 cuts this year. I don't know if that's the popular theory or not, but I think we see a cut in September and December, right? Yeah. Do we see a jump off of that? I would think we do. I would think so. I don't think cuts are bearish. Again, that would drive the bears insane. All the bears have been saying is cuts are bearish because it's coming from a place of weakness. and that's the top or whatever they say. I don't know. I think in the next two data prints on jobs, we're going to see the jobs numbers spike up on the unemployment rate. And I think that's what is eventually going to break them being the Fed. And I think they're going to say, all right, you know what? We're almost there on inflation. We're not there yet. We're going to start cutting a little bit because we don't want to turn this potentially soft landing into a hard landing. That would be my rationale. Not just because I want prices higher. Just like, look, if they want a recession, they can get it. You keep rates high enough for long enough, they will get a recession. Undeniably. So it's up to them. But it does look like the jobs numbers have started to accelerate a little bit. Leaps on BITO. Man, I'm the wrong person to ask about options. I would rather trade BITU, which is what I have now. BITU, BitX, that sort of thing. I would rather trade this than BITO. BITO has some issues with futures roll risk and a bunch of other fun stuff. So you just got to be careful with where you think this is going, because if we compare this to like Bitcoin as a percent, like this is the differential since inception on BITO. So there's something going on with the roll and the premiums and the fees. So if you're thinking like BITO leaps are going to be bullish, I'm not going to deny that. If Bitcoin's bullish, BITO leaps are going to be bullish, but it's a question of like how bullish, right? So you just got to be careful with that. That's why I wish we had spot options. I think that would be exciting to trade, but we don't have that. Anything else anybody wants me to talk about? If not, we'll call it there. After all that, we survived 65 so far. Track. I guess we can pull up SMH as well, which probably had a nasty reversal today. This is good. This is good. Let the sellers come in. I do not want to see parabolic blow off tops. I do not want to see that. So I'd much rather see this personally. This SMH chart, this is the semiconductor ETF. That would be the levels, 240, 250. That'd be the levels to watch. I traded this, was it a weekly? So I was actually in this thing. I was in this thing on the cup and handle. I got out, was it 234 or something? I don't know. I thought I got out up here. I'd have to go back and check. But it's in the wheelhouse up here, you know? If we look at the cup and handle and just expectations of what we would need to see again, you probably need some sort of consolidation up here. I don't think this stuff goes up forever. So it's in the wheelhouse of expectations. Track. Is that what you asked? Track? What is this? I don't know. That doesn't look good, whatever it is. Is this the right one? That also does not look great. So yeah, I like miners here. I like ETH here. I like BTC here. If we hold these levels, that's kind of it, right? There really wasn't much of anything else. SMCI. I think SMCI looks decent. Anyway, I think we're going to call it there. That's all I got for this one. Thanks for hanging out, either live or on the recording. Throw me a comment if you've watched the recording and you've gotten this far. And we'll talk Sunday. Set up Sunday. Have a good rest of your weekend. Take care. See you guys.